Hey guys, it's James, and today I want to talk about DIVO and more specifically how much you need to be able to retire off of DIVO. Now, when I say retire, I mean before 59.5 and pulling your dividends from a taxable account, not a Roth IRA, traditional IRA, but more of a taxable account. And when I say retire, I also mean that average annual salary in the United States of about $50,000. If that sounds like something you're interested in, let's head over to the spreadsheet and check out the numbers. All right, guys, we are over on the spreadsheet, and if you're not familiar with this spreadsheet, just a real quick rundown. The yellows are our inputs and the greens are our outputs. We have our single analyzing a spreadsheet where we just input one ticker symbol or one fund or ETF or security. And then we do have a comparison tab that we're going to jump over to. And then on the comparison tab, we can also determine the income for our various inputs that we are comparing against. First off today, again, like I said, we're going to look at DIVO and how much you would need to retire, and that would be pulling from your taxable account and about $50,000 a year. But before we get started, I wanted to bring you over to DIVO's website just to be able to rehash the purpose of DIVO, why you should be investing in DIVO. They have three main points here: income potential, active management, and seeks to lower volatility. So the income potential, meaning it's comprised of high quality dividend oriented stocks along with covered calls on individual stocks. Active management means allows the portfolio manager to identify opportunities and risks and act on those decisions in real time, and they charge you about a 0.55% expense ratio to be able to do that. But also, compared to some of the other income ETFs, they seek to lower the volatility, meaning the dividend and option income may provide lower price share volatility versus the overall market during times of broad-based market declines. And back over on the spreadsheet, just to go through the inputs here. We'll take it slow. I know it can be overwhelming if it's the first time you've seen the spreadsheet. So I type in the ticker symbol here, DIVO, and then this outputs and has the name of the fund, amplifies CWP, enhanced dividend income ETF. I'll show you where I got some of these numbers from over from Seeking Alpha. First off, dividend yield at 5.28%. We head over to Seeking Alpha and find out that number. Over on Seeking Alpha's page under dividend tab, dividend scorecard, you have the dividend yield, 12-month trailing yield at 5.28. So that is what we are using for the dividend yield. The expense ratio, as we saw from DIVO's website, was 0.55%. It's monthly dividend frequency. It pays out per month. Right now, we're going to assume you're at that point where you're not adding any more money to your fund or to your DIVO account. You're at $0. The growth rate we determined at 5.275 per year. That's your cumulative annual growth rate. And where did we find that number? Well, if we come back over to Seeking Alpha, click on the Momentum tab, and we scroll down to their price performance. And again, just the price performance, not their total performance with dividends reinvested. We take a look at their price return, and they only have a 5-year price return listed. It has not been on the market for 10 years, so there's no number there. So if it is a 26.34% return for 5 years, you take this number and divide it by 5, and that brings us to our 5.27% growth rate. All right, so now we're going to start with a $40,000 investment. Let's say you're at age 30, and I'll show you why I chose this number. If we take a look at what your average retirement account is per age, or how much somebody has saved up for retirement, over on Investopedia, I want to take a look at what is the average balance by age, how much people have saved up for retirement, and it's going off of decade figures, your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Okay, so if we take a look at the numbers here, we can see somebody in their 20s, 20 to 29, has an average of about $10,500. Someone in their 30s has an average about $38,400, and then so on. $93,000 in your 40s, 160,000 in your 50s, 182,000 in your 60s, and 171,000 in your 70s. We come back over to the spreadsheet. Since most of my audience is sitting around the age of 30, we're going to go ahead and say you had a $40,000 initial deposit in your fund. If you just had a 5.27% growth rate and a 5.28% dividend yield, this is what it would look like if you hit 40. Your account with dividends reinvested would be 186, and without dividends reinvested, it would be 63,000. Now, we're going to come back to this tab, but let's jump over to the comparison tab. Again, the purpose of this video is we're going to try to find out how much fund we need to be able to retire or receive that $50,000 a year figure. So we're going to figure that out over on our comparison tab. We have two separate funds here, and it's very similar to the single fund spreadsheet tab over here. This is our comparison tab. We just simply have a S&P 500 index fund ETF being VOO, and then again we have DIVO, and here are the stats for DIVO. And if we had $40,000 at 30 and we reinvested the dividends, it looks like we would only have about $2,000, or for the first year, $2,000 in dividends. So how much would we actually need? We would need to be able to achieve about $50,000 a year in dividends. We would need a total of $900,000 worth of DIVO, and we're close to that $50,000 figure after the first year. And remember, it does pay monthly, so you'd simply take this number and you would be receiving that per month over the course of the first year. And remember, this is a $0 monthly addition. So let's jump back over to our single investing tab right here, and let's say we had our $40,000. Remember, we're age 30. From the average balance in your 30s, most guys and gals in their 30s are going to have $40,000. So how fast, what is our monthly addition that we would need if we were 30 to be able to achieve $900,000? So here we have our short-term graph and our long-term graph. So we're going to see how fast we can hit our $900,000 figure. So we'll start with a standard $500 a month, a regular car payment. If you drove old junky cars, instead of putting your car payment into a car, you take that payment and put it into a fund with DIVO, a taxable fund. So it looks like it would take you somewhere between 10 and 20 years with $500 a month to be able to get you to your $900,000 figure. Now this is a pretty big spread here, so let's go over to the actual math. So with dividends reinvested, it looks like $900,000 would take about 16 years, 2038. Let's say you wanted to hit that a little faster. Let's say you were some type of fire fund investor, and how fast could you hit that $900,000 figure with your $40,000 at age 30? Well, let's go ahead and go up to $2,000 a month. Let's say you were able to save $2,000 a month. Well, can you retire in 10 years with dividends reinvested? Not yet. Let's say it's $2,500. You're very close. Let's say it's about $2,700, and then that puts you over the threshold. So if you were 30 and you had the average balance of about $40,000 in retirement, you would need about $2,700 to hit that threshold in 10 years to be able to retire in 10 years at 40. And then again, remember, this is all based off of the current stagnant dividend yield and cumulative annual growth rate. If you wanted to play around with these numbers yourself, you can download this calculator on Patreon. Let's say we weren't as bullish on DIVO and the next 10 years were very flat in the stock market. And let's say DIVO was only able to grow at, say, a 3% growth rate. Let's say the dividend yield dropped at a 4%. Well, that brings our numbers down slightly. Then we would have to increase our monthly addition. It looks like to about $3,100 per month for 10 years to be able to hit that $900,000 figure. That's it for this video. Make sure you like and comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.